We'll be good. You ready?
Never.
Remember, yada 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 yada. Right?
And that's how we got demonetized from YouTube.
Welcome to the Wrong Indian Podcast.
Native Americans of all trades, masters of none.
What does that mean? Oh, we have a lot to say. We are not the expert.
But we talk to the experts on a variety of issues.
I'm Brittany Schulman.
Kenrick.
This is the
Wrong Indian Podcast.
Welcome back to the Wrong Indian Podcast. I'm Brittany Schulman. This is season 2, episode 9, and I just put it all in there together.
I'm telling you, just think about it. People would want me to do that body dance, right?
And who are you?
Oh, sorry. Refresh. Steve. How you guys doing? I am Kenrick Escalante, and like always, like we have been doing every episode, if you like what you're hearing out there, please go out there and rate us and subscribe to us. Why are we asking for that support? It's because we need you guys to help us amp up that algorithm so other people can find us and join our community.
And if you're watching us on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. I mean, if you're here watching it for free way, do the free thing and subscribe. That's all. It's all free.
Well.
I mean,
Hey, and by the way, feel free to give us comments. We love to see your comments, good, bad, or indifferent. We love it. So thank you. And our the people that have been commenting on YouTube and on Instagram, we do our best to make sure that we comment back to all of you, and we appreciate it.
Absolutely. And that kind of just slides us on into our very first topic, which is, what are we watching? And I'm watching YouTube. Point blank, period. That's just what it is. I'm watching everyone's Vlogmas right now because I am a voyeur and I have a problem.
Okay, I'm going to sound ignorant, but what is a Vlogmas? I assume it has something to do with the holidays?
It does. A lot of YouTubers, particularly the ones that I like to watch, they do a video every single day. So like usually folks I watch when they do a vlog, it's like the whole week and they just pick up here and there. Okay. This time they're doing something every single day. So they're showing like, hey, we put up our tree and look, the cat has eaten all the balls off of it. Or, hey, we're doing, my favorite was the dad off of That Chick Angel. He got a bunch of, what is it called? It's the stuff that we shouldn't be using. Styrofoam. Stuff we shouldn't be using anyway. A whole stack of styrofoam. So him and his boys literally just played Karate Kid with styrofoam for about 5 minutes. It was hilarious. Where they're going, just breaking
it. Done.
Love.
That's just supposed to do.
Hilarious. So I've been watching.
I'm just going to take a quick little moment here just because you reminded me of it. I was at a store today and my inner 5-year-old just lit up. I saw 2 siblings grabbing the wrapper tubes and they were totally Jedi Knighting it in the store. They were attacking each other, and the whole time I was like, because they were just like,
that could have been our viral video.
I should have. I know.
You just put the music to it in the background.
It would have just been me humming.
Their faces. That's okay. We don't have to give it away.
Anyway, tell me more about Vlogmas. I'm sorry.
That's really, I enjoy it. I enjoy watching the different content creators and what they come up with or what they talk about, or even seeing some of a lot of the folks that I watch, they have other channels and other things that they do. So it's a little bit of the behind the scenes of what's happening. And I like that stuff. Cool. I am also watching, it's a new app called Kev on Stage Studios. So just to give a little background, there's a YouTube channel called Kev on Stage, and this guy named Kevin Fredericks, who's a comedian. Okay. And he actually started about August, I think, what he called a Keep Your Distance comedy show. So for all of his comedy friends who couldn't work because hello, COVID, no one's going into clubs, and even if they are, it's scary. What he did was he created this Keep Your Distance comedy show. So people pay for the ticket and you can get the link. You watch like 6, 7 comedians and just laugh your butt off. And he does it. He started, I think, August, every 2 weeks. So
this is your guy. This is your podcast influencer.
Yes. He also has like 6 or 7 podcasts. Not that quite that many, but yeah, him and and that chick Angel have a podcast called Here's the Thing. That I really enjoy.
Okay, what I like about him, this guy, like he does dad jokes.
Yes.
So that's my thing with him. That's my connection to this guy. I love his dad jokes.
Well, here's the thing. He said he was sick of, as a creator, being subject to the algorithm. He was sick of
life story.
Yeah. He was sick of not there's like all these creators and not in Hollywood not providing the space for them, not providing the place for them, and particularly African American creators, because he's an African American creator. Bam! He's got his own freaking app. And on his own freaking app, he has all the things. He has all these different things that he's doing. There's a couple of movies up there. It's pretty doggone genius. And so what I really appreciate about, he was just on Good Morning America about the Keep Your Distance comedy show. But what I really appreciate is that, and this is something that we're going to talk about a little bit later, if you cannot find your place in the system, create your own system. And so he's like, he said, this is not supposed to be Netflix. I'm not taking over Netflix. This isn't supposed to be YouTube. I'm not taking over YouTube, but I am providing an opportunity for Black content creators to have their own space and to not be buried under other folks because the algorithm is just set up that way. So I was like, that's doggone genius. I am in support of anyone creating their own system. Right.
Like create your own lane. Like if the lane is so congested, just go make your own.
Yeah. So I've been watching, actually, I've caught up because they do with their podcast, they do one for their Patreon and then the regular free one and the one for their Patreon. And all the ones for the Patreon are now on this app.
Yeah.
It's like genius.
Because I assume it's a paid app, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's a paid app.
There you go.
It's a free trial. So if you want to check it out, Kev on Stage Studios, go check it out. Free trial. And he hasn't even actually officially launched it yet. And he's already got 5,000 subscribers to his app.
That poor thing.
No, it's amazing.
It is amazing. That's what I'm saying. Like, oh, poor guy. And his 5,000 followers. And that's just on a non-advertised
new thing he invented.
He just put out.
That's awesome.
That is dope. One day. Cheers to one day.
We can make our own. We could be the Wrong Indian Studios app and put our own. Pew, 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 pew.
I love that. Could you imagine? You just put indigenous creators on there.
Yeah, I know. And then you're not subject to TikTok or letting TikTok, the non-native TikTok folks, bash or take down, native TikTok or get rich off of just critiquing native TikTok. I think that.
There you go.
Yeah. So that's what I'm watching. I haven't watched a lot. We've got finals. I got a 10-page paper.
What I've been watching, well, you know my deal. You know what I do. Every Friday, I'm on my Disney Plus watching Mandalorian. And you know what? I'm not going to lie to you. Last week, in the anticipation of having Ahsoka going to be in that episode, I wasn't like, oh, because we don't watch it first thing in the morning. We watch it after my wife gets home from work. Mm-hmm. And then we all watch it together as a family. So I wasn't really stressing that episode. I was just like, let's just watch it. Like when, it's going to happen. This week, I did the worst thing I could ever do. I woke up in the morning and I don't know why, but before I started my work day, I just happened to go on TikTok. And I went on TikTok, and some stupid idiot.
He didn't say spoilers, did he?
No, he said spoilers, but he had an image of somebody. And I'm just like, so now I got all hyped. I was like, I gotta watch this damn episode. So all day I was all stressed out because I just wanted to watch the episode, and it was worth it. It was so worth it. It was awesome. It was a return of a legend. I'm not going to ruin anything for anybody, but the episode's been out for a couple of days, so if you're watching it, you're watching it. If you're not, you're not. But a legend returned. I mean, literally returned from the grave.
No, is this a Clone Wars return from the grave, or is this a?
Well, I mean, if you want to get deep about it, this person was involved in the Clone Wars, very much so. At least his DNA was. Anyway,
they teased that.
Yeah.
So teased it. Oh my god.
I'm gonna tell you this though. The person came out, did not fail. He came out, or whoever came out and kicked some royal Star Wars butt and did what he does. And then just hours later on TikTok, people were body shaming him. Yeah. This is the world we live in, where we can't get enough of nothing. And they started body shaming this person, a Star Wars icon, a legend. And they're just body shaming this character. Mind you, fictional character.
Well, wait. Is it the same actor who played him previously?
In more ways than one. He's not only the same actor, but he's the same actor generationally throughout the Star Wars. Like, if by now you can't figure out who I'm talking about, this person literally played multiple people being the same person. You mentioned the Clone Wars. You guys do your homework. Bottom line, I think it's ridiculous that we're in a day and age where people are just so damn nitpicky.
The only thing I could think that you would shame someone, particularly the same actor, is if he looks older than he should, given the timeline that we're in. And that's the only thing I could think would be like, oh yeah, this doesn't make sense. But with all the CGI youngifying that they're doing, I mean, if doggone, they could take 40 years off of what's his MF face? Sam Jackson and Captain Marvel. To be sure, they could, make him youngified. And Disney has that Disney money.
Yeah.
Disney has that Marvel money. Let's also, and the Star Wars money. So, I mean, they could do it if they wanted to. If they
okay. So, look, I'm just not,
that's the only thing I could think of for a shaming of. But,
Look, I'm sorry. I'm going to rip the Band-Aid, okay? Spoiler warning. Spoiler warning. You don't like this? Turn us off. Go watch Mandalorian. Come back. I'm pausing. Now I'm back.
Talk to the hand. Go ahead.
Look, we're talking Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Boba Fett comes back to life. This guy had the worst Star Wars death in Star Wars history. The damn dude literally could have slipped on a banana peel, fell into a sand, yeah. So they teased it in the first episode of season 2, where you saw who you thought, oh my God, that's Boba Fett. Mm-hmm. And so they basically said, yep, this is it. It's Boba Fett. That's who he is. And the thing is, it's Tamara Morrison, the actor. Mm-hmm. Okay. Famous Maori actor, right on. And indigenous actor, right on. And the thing is, he's from all the way from the beginning, from the Clone Wars, the beginning of the Clone Wars. He played his own father, Jango Fett.
Yeah.
And then he played Boba Fett. And then in the animated Clone Wars series, they made all the clones into him, so I mean, he's literally been the arc of the entire thing. And so here he is, he comes back into Mandalorian, and yeah, he's aged. He's in his 60s. And so they're like,
again, that's the only thing I could think of you be upset with is he doesn't look because he should be a younger man at this point. He doesn't look like a younger man.
No, he's supposed to be old because, like, from the moment where he had his, tragedy.
Wait, where are we in the timeline? Because he hasn't had his tragedy yet. Because his tragedy happens later.
Yes, he did. I explained it to you before. The Mandalorian is after Return of the Jedi. After the original 3 trilogies, those have been over. Darth Vader's dead. Darth Vader's dead. And,
Okay, yeah. So I thought this was after Clone Wars, but before we get into...
No.
Okay, so yeah, I am way off in my timeline. I'm glad to know this since I'm actually filming another series.
4, 5, 6, right? Yeah. Those are the original 3. Yes. 4, 5, 6. So after 6, Mandalorian.
Okay.
See? So what does that mean?
Before 7, 8, 9 with Rey.
Yes.
Because that's like 25 years later.
Right. So what are we talking about? We're in the era of...
We're in the middle of 6 and 7.
Anakin's story...
Clone Wars is between... Just go with me. Just ride with me for a minute. Clone Wars is between 3 and 4.
Yes.
Ish.
Yes.
Yeah. So then this is happening between 6 and 7. Okay, I'm caught up.
I mean, technically, Clone Wars is between 2 and 3?
Ish.
Because like after episode 2, you literally can, that's what they were promoting.
Yeah, that's what they were getting. Yeah.
You go watch Clone Wars and then come back for episode 3. So anyway, like he's old. He is older. Like time has passed. And so, and let's keep in mind, he survived.
He survived going in Jabba's stomach.
No.
No. Let me explain. Let me explain why I call it that, because I know it's not that now. But as a child watching that, the first time,
right?
That's the only way they could explain it. It was like, that's his stomach. I was like, but he's over there. And this is before all the CGI, and now he walks. I mean, this is before he could walk. So I was like, his stomach hit the ground.
I will take the claim of fame that the so-called death, the first death of Boba Fett happened back on my homeland, because they shot that shot in Yuma, Arizona, where I'm from. So they did it at our sand dunes. So yeah, anyway, so that was the thing. I was like all irritated because like they're body shaming him because he puts his suit on. He basically puts his armor on at the end and starts kicking some real butt, and he's amazing. But they're like, oh, he just doesn't look right. He looks heavy, and it's like, dude, he's an old.
And also, my second thing is, once he puts the suit on and you can't see his face no more, is it still him? Because Hollywood body doubles, they do it all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. So
it may not even be him.
You know what? But then that goes right back into my next frustration with, I'm just gonna say it. I think it's Generation Z. Those guys, all you youngins or something. Because Jesus. So I'm watching Mandalorian, but now what I watched this weekend completely, and I'm in love with it. And you hate out there, go sit down, go take a time out, because I'm watching Selena the series. And Selena, look, man, I come from the desert Southwest where people just worship Selena. And I remember when she passed, and all the youngins of my age were just destroyed, and then we ended up, getting the J-Lo movie,
which is where I was introduced to Selena, because I wasn't into Tejana music.
Right.
That just wasn't my thing.
The thing though, and that's what made me like have this like remembering moment, was that, so everyone's not everyone, let me not generalize, but what I'm trying to say, there are people out there on the damn interwebs who are complaining about this series because they're like, oh, this new Selena, it's a horrible cast. It's completely whitewashed. Why aren't they speaking Spanish? What's up with these wigs? Why do they look so weird? They're just going off. And it's like, listen, kid, Selena was raised in Texas. Her dad was born in America. He wasn't from Mexico. He was born in America. So they had a very Americanized family, which a lot of Chicanos have, And so they didn't speak Spanish. Now, did the dad and the mom, did they speak fluently? Yes. But was it spoken in the home with the children? No. And so, like, Selena learned Spanish growing into the industry, you know, for her to be able to sing and realize, okay, for us to be successful, how about I learn to sing these songs? And that's how she learned. And that's public knowledge. If you guys don't know that, you're not doing your homework.
That was in the first movie. We have to be more than the Mexicans and more American than the Americans. It's frustrating.
It is frustrating. I relate to that.
To that moment, I was like, "You're right. I'm not even Mexican."
I relate to it.
It's more American than the Americans. It's tiring or frustrating. I don't remember. It's hilarious.
Yeah,
I mean that was very much in the movie. But the folks I have seen who are the complainers aren't necessarily the youngins. They're like folks our age.
You know what? You take a time out too. Go take a time out. Because I bet you weren't even a real Selena fan.
Me?
Oh, I'm talking about those people that you're saying that are our age.
If those are the ones I've seen that have done the complaining. I haven't seen like the super young folks complaining. I haven't seen the old folks complaining. But my question is, who's making money off this movie? I mean, this series. Netflix doesn't do anything. What their algorithm, speaking of algorithms, say it's going to be a hit and a success. So who owns the Netflix accounts that they said this is going to be a success, and who's making the money off of it? That's who you should be complaining to. I rest my case.
I mean, for me, it's like Selena's family are producing the series, and like her sister said it herself. Like I read a piece that her sister said was like, "Look, there's no one who's gonna ever embody my sister. She's so iconic now that nobody can fit her, like her image." There are people who can look like her. There's lookalikes, but for the sake of a TV show, that doesn't mean they know how to act.
I'll be real honest. JLo really didn't look like her either.
Right, and that's exactly what she said. Her sister said, "Look, the same argument happened when we casted JLo. People were complaining that she was Puerto Rican. People were complaining that she was too thick, you know, and so they even had to have like a Mexican press conference." Talking about, look, this is why we casted this lady, because she's an amazing actress. And that's what this is about. We're trying to portray our daughter, our sister in the highest light with an amazing actress, which is why they got JLo. And I, honestly, and that's the problem, because what happens is like JLo did an amazing job. She did do a good job. And I really love that. And she probably really introduced Selena to a lot of people like yourself. And so now you have people complaining because they're saying that this new actress, she's not JLo. See, they're not even looking through the lens of Selena. They're looking through the lens of Jennifer Lopez. They're like, she don't even look like. It's like, come on, you guys got to stop.
Yeah, because again, JLo didn't look like Selena. If you put it up and you go, huh, that's a little different,
right? And the thing is, too, a lot of people just get obsessed with like what they know of Selena, like. Her top hits or something. Like they didn't realize like she had like albums,
extensive collection of music.
Yeah, and she was from body of music
even before her last album came out after she passed. Yeah,
her band. I mean, they were performing like children in the 70s, and then they started becoming like successful in the 80s and 90s. So of course they looked funky. To us in this present age of 2020. Yeah, because they had big hair. They had glitter. So I remember.
I mean, there are probably a lot of interesting pictures.
Oh, great.
If you go into the repertoire of the 80s.
Yeah. I mean, look who
I love looking at powwow pictures from the 80s where they're like sequined out. And then their bangs are like to here. It's so great. Like I've got the braids, but my bangs are to here. I love it so much. It's so awesome.
2 words. Aqua net. Aquanet.
Yeah.
80s. Look it up.
It's hilarious.
But yeah, but yeah, that those are the two things I was watching, and both of them, they were like, it pissed me off. And what they were pissing me off about was what I've been on all the time is TikTok. I'm obsessed of, I don't know why, but I'm obsessed in watching TikTok. And so I'm seeing these people hate on Mandalorian. I'm hearing these people hate on Selena. And at the end of the day, I'm just like, can you guys just enjoy your lives?
So full of hate. How has the TikTok algorithm focused you on the haters?
I don't know. And I'm not hitting like on this
reprogram your algorithm.
Yeah, my daughters are telling me that too. They're like, Dad, how do you even have these things? And I'm like, I don't know. Maybe in the middle of the night, maybe I was tired and I hit like on something. I don't know, but my algorithm is all messed up. You know what else is messed up? My damn diet.
Oh, really?
I mean, we all know. We all know it's the holidays, right? So, I'm eating horrible, but my body's happy. But, like we always do, what I try to do is I try to encourage myself, once the holidays are over, I'm going to get back on track. And one way I'm going to get back on track is making sure that I'm eating better. And one way to eat better is to eat with one of our sponsors, and that's Magic Spoon. So we try to educate you guys all the time is that while on average Americans eat 100 bowls of cereal a year, what we need to focus on is that those 100 bowls are mostly eaten by kids. And what are they eating? They're eating sugar. So one way we can stop that, one way we can prevent that is eating good cereal like Magic Spoon. Why? Because you can eat it guilt-free, and you can eat it knowing that it's grain-free, gluten-free, low-carb, high protein, and 0 grams of sugar per serving.
No way.
Right. And then I just saw, and I feel like I say this every week, but literally they're on their game right now. They just launched another flavor.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Another flavor. I want to say it's cinnamon, like cinnamon apple.
They have apple cinnamon. The fall box contains cinnamon, apple cinnamon, cocoa, and salted caramel.
Okay. But this is something related to Christmas. It's like a holiday Christmas. In fact, I'm so anal about it. I want to find out what it is to make sure I'm correct. Here we go. It's light up your morning with gingerbread. That's what it is. It's gingerbread.
Oh.
Yeah. They just launched gingerbread. And you know what's crazy, guys? Look, if you guys are interested in what they got here, because they got gingerbread, they got all these cool things that Brittany brought up before, that because Brittany, man, her family eats it like gangbusters. There's a peanut butter one now.
Yeah. I've been wanting to look at that one.
Yeah, so there's a peanut butter, there's a gingerbread, and plus they have all their favorites. They have all the good ones that you love, which is cinnamon apple, salted caramel cocoa, all those really good flavors that just taste like your childhood. So if you guys want that stuff, man, go out there and get some free shipping on us, okay? Because look, good things cost money. If you want to go get your 99-cent, cereal, then, feel free to do that. I'm not hating on that. But if you want the good stuff, go ahead and get it. Is that a child that just jumped on you?
Yes, this is a child who has just decided to join the podcast.
That's awesome.
You don't even care. Mommy's dreams, goals, ambitions. No, I don't care. I'm here now.
So it's one of these little youngins who tears up Magic Spoon. So if you guys want Magic Spoon, all you have to do is use our promo code, which is Wrong Indian Podcast. Use the Wrong Indian Podcast, and you guys can get some free shipping on us. Okay. Who doesn't like free shipping? I know I do. So use it. Wrong Indian Podcast. Get yourself some free shipping. And Brittany, I'm assuming your child has left.
Oh, yeah, he went to get some Magic Spoon. So he heard free shipping. He was like, yes, Mom, I'm going to get some Magic Spoon now.
See, I don't know if you guys saw that in real time. I literally said free shipping, and that kid just broke through the room. He was like, I need it.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. So, anywho, I want to talk a little bit about season 2 highlights. We're in episode 9. That means we're almost done. We had an interview scheduled for today. Unfortunately, it didn't happen, which is fine because we've had an amazing season 2 thus far. So, Kenrick, why don't you start off telling me and our listeners what are your highlights from season 2? What's something that's really stood out to you?
Look, I mean, if we have any loyalists out there who were around during season 1, I mean, welcome. Thanks for keeping up. I mean, season 1 was really something we did on the seat of our pants. It was one of those things where like we were hungry for it, we wanted to do it, and we really didn't want to take all that time to be like, you know what, let's strategize and plan this out. And we're like, no, let's get it done. Let's go.
Do it dirty is what I call,
I call it guerrilla style, where you just go rogue and just do it.
Well, hey,
that's literally. And so, we learned a lot from that season. Like we learned like do's and don'ts and, how to set up like segments and themes. And so my highlight of this year is just really we really use that in practice. Like we really have done that. And we've been able to showcase a lot of Native entrepreneurs. And we got to have an interview with the DNC chairman, Tom Perez. Like that was cool. Like that was really great, and what I got from that episode was that we can't forget that we make things happen. If there was anything that episode mentioned, it was the strength of what we can do if we do anything united. And I think that actually proved correct in gangbusters come the election.
I think the DNC put their money where their mouth was, and I think his native showed up and showed out.
Absolutely. I mean, it wasn't something that they were just saying in vain. Like when we were interviewing Mr. Perez, he wasn't really like talking just his rhetoric. He was actually stating like some really true facts that really came out, and that's what happened. I mean, we showed up in Arizona. We showed up in Nevada. We showed up around the country. We
everywhere.
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 We proved to be something else.
Truly, we were truly something. We really are something else.
I was going to say, where's your damn mug? I cued your mug, and you're supposed to be like, yeah.
There it is. So don't forget, it's linked below, BrittanyShulman.com/merch, wrong Indian for 20% off.
And they're great mugs. They really are. I mean, another cool highlight, what I was telling Brittany before we started the show is that if you look at any of these people that we interviewed, may that be from, Cheekbone Beauty, Urban Native Era, Red Street Girl, Tracy Brown, you name it, Sultry Anarchy, even when we interviewed Dr. Lee Francis from Red Planet Books and Comics. The thing about all of them is that they all had similar parallels. Like they all had their same struggles. And, even though they were in different fields of business, they had to like struggle for identity. They had to struggle to not only compete with bigger business, but to compete within Indian country themselves too. And that was another cool lesson that we got. I think we got that from Lachey. I get that so wrong. Asaki. I apologize. And if you're listening to us, I'm sorry. I'm horrible with names. But
come back and correct us a lot.
Yeah, come back a lot. But one thing I learned from that episode, that main episode, that was episode 1. Yeah, episode 1. From the gate, she gave us so much knowledge, and like what she said was, we don't have to compete with each other. Like we shouldn't be fighting each other. Like think of Indian country as a whole, and then think of globally. There's enough to go around. There's so much to go around, and sometimes we get caught in wanting to just get that little piece of crumb that we always end up fighting with each other internally. So for instance, let's say we have we have 2 Native American cosmetic companies, and all they want to do is fight because they want to be the number 1 Native American cosmetic.
They want to be the only, which is, just be honest, that is colonialism at its finest.
Yeah. And who's it helping? It's not helping us. Because do you think like the global brands of makeup care if these 2 native brands want to fight with each other? They're doing their thing. They're already doing their thing. So why? We're better when we're united. So it makes good business to say, instead of fighting to be on top, why don't we fight together to just keep being successful? That's one thing I have a takeaway for season 2 is that when we unite, we can do some amazing things. What have you taken away from season 2?
One thing that I saw as a through line is that and Corey's almost said it in his interview, and I think we all got distracted because boy's funny. But it's that when your passion meets your preparation, or when preparation meets your opportunity, preparation meets opportunity. And what every single one, whether it was Jen, whether it was Asaki, whether it was Joey, all of them talked about their passion and and they were doing what they love. They were in the thing that they love, and the length of time it took. Because some of these we just learned about this year. Some of them have been around a long time,
right?
And they've had opportunity, and then because they've been around and been plugging at it, they were able to, they've been able to be successful. And I see every one of them as major success stories.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of things that they're doing, things that they're the products that they're providing, the education level of,
right.
Yes, natives do these things too. Yes, we have brands that, while some have a little more traditional aesthetic, some are just straight up contemporary modern pieces.
Mm-hmm.
I really appreciated their passion, and I appreciated their work ethic.
Yeah.
Because and that was something that Jen said, whatever you do, whatever your goal is, whatever it is, do something every day. One thing, just do one thing every day. And I think that because this whole year for me, which we'll talk a little bit more about that later, has been like dipping my toe in all these other different things. And I think the end has been something else. So it's been really interesting to process their teachings and their learnings and how they've done things. So it's like super cool.
Well, yeah. So like one thing that I took away from the Jen Harper interview, that's Cheekbone Beauty, is like she like reminded us to listen to like the universe, like, listen around you, because like Cheekbone Beauty was created because of a dream.
Yeah.
Like she literally dreamt it. And she was like, she woke up the next day, like, this is what I got to do. And the thing is, she didn't just like wake up and go, oh, that was a weird dream, and moved on. No, she listened and she cultivated it, which takes me back to something that I've learned throughout this year, through this season, is that don't block your blessings. Seriously. I think we as people, we do that so much. We block our blessings. We'll be like, oh, you mean I could get from A to Z if I just do this? No, that just seems too hard, because you're blocking your blessing. It's like, what are you doing? Especially if someone's helping you, like in these network. Like, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to show you my appreciation for every single person we've interviewed. You have elevated us. I would love to say that the Wrong NDN podcast elevated you, but you elevated us. And by me acknowledging that, that's me telling you that I'm not going to block a blessing. By you guys agreeing to be on our show and having us showcase you, you're giving us the blessing of the exposure that we need just as much as you. Don't block your blessings. Unite, get together. We don't need to be hating on people. We don't need to be saying, no, we're not going to do business with you. We're going to close that door. Keep that door open. Don't block your blessings.
Do you feel better?
I do.
Oh my gosh, it was like a preacher just up there. It's like, this is my word. I got to get it out.
Spoke to me.
Oh man.
Goodness. No, but seriously, yeah, it's been wonderful. And you know what? It's really motivated me to get excited for season 3,
Leave in the comments who you think we ought to invite to the show for season 3. Who else should we interview? Who else is going to be a good time? Because, every one of these have been a good time. There's been a lot of laughter, a lot of heart sharing. And that's the other thing is, if you can't find your lane, that's the whole thing with the Kev on Stage Studios app and these interviews. Jen Harper, there was no lane for Cheekbone Beauty. There was no sustainable line that was native owned. Asaki, there is no, except for her, there is no luxury native skincare makeup brand. Except for Tracy and Chelsea, there isn't those out there. Creating your own thing is so amazing. And then leave with not becoming the only indigenous bookstore, but also creating distribution for becoming the Amazon in a very real way.
Yeah.
I am just it just warms my heart, warms my soul. I mean, if you want to talk about a blessing, one of the things you can do is bless your body. And by blessing your body, you move it around a little bit. And sometimes to move it around a little bit, you need a little extra help. And we'd like to thank FNX Fit, our partner, because they're committed to creating innovative supplements of the highest quality that provide focus for productive morning, energy to thrive throughout the day, performance supplements, new goals, unique sleep recovery formulas to support and healthy supplements and active lifestyle for years to come.
So if you guys are noticing that maybe Brittany's having some Wi-Fi issues, all she's seriously trying to say is that, if you guys are interested in getting yourself better, especially 2021, new year, new you can go to you can go to fnxfit.com and you can go ahead and get that 15% off. And all you have to do is use the wrong Indian promo code. Now, that's not the same as Magic Spoon. This one is wrong Indian. All right. You guys want that?
And you don't have to wait till the new year. You can start. So go place an order today at fnxfit.com. Get some ebooks. They've got ebooks for learning new activities and exercising. So
absolutely.
There you go. Wi-Fi issues? I was great over here.
No, you're breaking up just a little bit. Yeah, you're getting breaking up.
Well, let's see if I could hear myself. I might be tell myself that.
That's what I was trying to tell you before. So, in just like how we highlighted season 2, one thing that we want to talk about is like the things we've learned for 2020. I mean, I think we all can agree that 2020 has been an experiment.
Oh my gosh, I love this guy. He's got a mug and it says it rates 2020 1 star, would not do again.
Yeah, right. 2020 is like the worst.
Would not recommend. Nah.
Yep. I would love to see the Yelp review for 2020. Right? Like, no, thank you. Yeah. So Brittany, what takeaways do you have for 2020?
The art of the pivot.
Yeah.
Because if this was a moment for anyone, it was a moment to shift and change and move to the next thing. Whatever the next thing was, all that happened with restaurants who maybe did offer pickup or delivery. The ones who made it and who stayed open are the ones who offered pickup and delivery, who figured out how to do it and make it work. Businesses that have stayed open figured out we're in a different place, we're in a different space, we have to think and move differently. So thinking and moving differently is one of my biggest lessons from 2020. Also, life's too short, man. Life is too short to be in places and spaces that don't uplift you, bring you up, change you, or challenge you. Right. And so for me, 2020, I've actually read more books this year, and not just like for grad school. I've read a whole lot. I was reading like a book a week there for a little while, and it was really all about figuring out what is your place in space and taking up that place in space. Those are two just right off the top of my head that I'm like, 2020 has been a horrible year. It's also been one of the best years. It's been a horrible year. It's been tragic in more ways than one. It's also been a huge year of growth. What about you?
I would agree. And there was one thing from one of my favorites, and that's X to the Z Exhibit, hip hop rapper. He said something hilarious. Well, it wasn't hilarious. Actually, it was really poignant. What he said was in his latest album, because he dropped an album just a couple months ago, and that was one of his ways of being like, yeah, I'm not wasting 2020. I don't care if I'm wearing
fuzzy slippers.
I'm wearing slippers and I got my PJs on. I'm gonna make an album and I'm dropping it here in 2020. Because what he said was, in 2020, if you haven't pivoted and started your own business or created a new pathway for your career, then that's just who you were all along. Like if you slept on 2020, that's exactly who you are as a person. You're just someone who's just going to sleep on your life. Because if you didn't take the opportunity to do something in this climate, or you could have just done something because, some people didn't have jobs. Some people had to work from home. So I'm not saying that everyone had time, but you definitely had the ability to be like, okay, maybe like you just said, like maybe it's our time to figure out how we adapt and move. So if you just sat on the couch and was like, I'm just riding this out, then that's exactly who you are. I'm
not gonna be so judgy about it because we're all at different places and spaces and levels of privilege.
It's not no. It's not being judgy, because here's the thing. I am nowhere near the privilege level of Exhibit. I'm nowhere. I'm at the bottom. We are at the bottom. But like yourself as an entrepreneur, oh Lord, I hear the baby monster.
I love that he has come in. He has backed himself up next to me and turned to look at his dad like, no, I'm staying here.
You gotta love it.
I thought I locked the door. I did not lock the door.
Good job, Mom. You only had one job, Mom. Good job. No, but no, I mean, because I've seen it. I've seen it firsthand in Indian country. We all don't come from the same different. Like we all have levels. We all have levels of means, right? But that shouldn't stop anybody. Like I've seen people put up, strap up their bootstraps and make something out of this. I've seen fellow natives who've lost their jobs and then said, you know what? I'm going to start beating. I'm going to start, getting my art game up, and I'm going to start selling my art again. We're seeing that again. And it's like a revival. And those are the people I'm talking about. Those are the people that have chosen to do something.
What I'm saying is that for a lot of folks who were in a very dark place to start with, or even continue to be in a dark place, because one of the things I didn't like, particularly early on, is that, well, if you haven't learned something new, then you're horrible. And it's like, wait, no, I am in this mode of surviving. And until I can get out of that survival space, and particularly very early on, I was like, I cannot see an end, and I am surviving. And I don't want to say to folks, if you stayed in survival mode, that you're a horrible person. And that's what I'm hearing. You may not be saying that.
No,
and
I'm not saying that at all.
Very clear with our listeners is that, 2020 was a very dark year. And for some of us, it has continued to be a dark year.
It still is. I mean, one thing I can share with you on a personal level is that with my family and like countless people throughout the country, we've had losses.
Mm-hmm.
We've had, and I'm not talking like, wins and losses. I mean, we've had family losses.
Mm-hmm.
We've dealt with tragedy that didn't maybe end in a loss, but it was still tragic. We're still trying to live in this climate of racism. That if that wasn't apparent in 2020, having to see leadership at the highest level not helping any, we've all been through that. And, whatever way, just like you said, whatever way you needed to do to survive this year and to survive into 2021,
Mm-hmm.
you do you. But I think what Exhibit was trying to say, and I think he was just saying it from like a motivational aspect, was like, and like me as a former coach myself, like one thing I would always try to tell my kids is like, if you accept the mindset that you're always going to be a loser, like if you accept that mindset that all you're ever going to do is lose, you're going to lose. You need to be able to flip that. Like I used to tell my football players, like, because they'd be all down in the dumps, like, oh, our team sucks. Oh, we're this, we're that, we're that. And I was like, you're believing what you're hearing. You need to be able to tell yourself, wake up every day and say, today I'm going to be awesome. Today I'm going to be the best damn quarterback. I'm going to be the best damn wide receiver, and I'm going to have a winning season. You got to change your mindset. And I think that's exhibit what he was trying to say. He was trying to say, like, if you didn't have the ability to change your mindset in any way, it was a wasted opportunity.
And I think for some, especially those experiencing trauma, it becomes a different conversation because you can't pull yourself up your bootstraps or change your bootstraps or make your bootstraps something else if you never had bootstraps. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but you can't victimize yourself in a concept where you're like, because I've never had bootstraps, I cannot obtain bootstraps.
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that this is a whole that you're wanting you're wanting people to be here, but sometimes they're here. And in order to get here, other things have to happen. And to blame them for not being here when they were here to start with, it's a not necessarily a productive conversation. Does that make sense?
I mean, yeah, I understand what you're trying to say, but what I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, when you're comparing it like this in levels, right? What I'm trying to say is, if you're saying that I'm expecting everyone to be here, no, what I'm saying is, if you are here and you made no attempt to try to get here, then what did you do? Like, now, if you did try and failed, at least you tried. Because remember, it doesn't matter how many times you fall down. It's just how many times you get back up. So I'm not asking for success rates. What I'm saying is, and what Exhibit was saying, was that in 2020, if you just simply didn't make an effort, then what were you doing?
All I'm saying is sometimes breathing is the effort. And not moving.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Just breathing is the effort. Not picking up my hands. Sometimes just taking that next breath is the effort. That's all I'm saying.
Exactly. That, I mean, I want to say, like, at this point we've met at the agreement, because there have been people in 2020 and years past who just decided to stop breathing. See what I'm saying on that? So, like, yeah, you're right. Even breathing is the victory.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, and on
Where do
that,
we go from that?
and on that note, what's making you happy?
What happens when we try to get a little deep in the Wrong Indian podcast? It just gets like, you could hear a pin drop.
Oh my goodness!
No, I don't know what to do.
No, seriously, what's making you happy? Because we're going to end on that, because I think that it is important to. I'm a silver lining kind of girl. I like to see, and that's.
Are you?
Yes, actually, I am. I'm very much a silver lining kind of girl. I need to see something. I need to find whatever the joy or the happy or the thing is. And that's one of the reasons I wanted us to keep doing what's making us happy, not just as a segue into the next interview, but also to genuinely articulate the joy that is. So I bring back to you, what's making you happy?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of things that are making me happy. I mean, like, you know, what we've talked on 2 subjects about season 2, right? Season 2 has made me so happy. I mean, the fact that we've had our little minor successes through season 2 has just given me so much joy. And having these conversations that I have with you are so awesome. I mean, sometimes, we go at each other's throats.
We can agree to disagree and that I'm right.
I love that. But that's the thing, though. I mean, that's what makes me happy. I love the fact that what we're doing is we're content creating, and that's what I really love. And I love that I get to see other Indigenous people content creating, and it's only getting better, you know? And I do believe there's a silver lining. I do believe that, like you said, I believe 2020 was tragic, but like every good story, I believe there's going to be some type of triumph. Like, something's going to happen. Maybe it already did. I don't know, but something is going to happen in 2021 where we're all going to somehow, some way. I'm not going to say it's going to be a kumbaya moment, but it's definitely going to be something where, you know, as a country, as a peoples, we're going to do our best to get better. So those things make me happy. The fact that nostalgia makes me happy. Yeah, like I love, like, you know how we always talk about Magic Spoon and about the flavors of that damn cereal, you know, it makes you happy because when you bite into it, you're like, I'm 5 years old again. I love
eating my cereal out of cup like a toddler.
out of a cup like a toddler. That's it. That's Kenrick. I love that. And you know, I love that we had a really good conversation on Instagram about that. You triggered some people, Miss Brittany, because I think other people eat like me and eat like a toddler when it comes to the cereal. Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, you know, those things make me happy.
Which my toddler, when he did come in, he had his little cup of cereal. So that was
Look.
And it was Magic Spoon. Free shipping. Wrong Indian podcast.
I will not confirm or deny that I have my own little cup sitting right here. And
if it's a cup, it should be native humor is something else.
It may be a sippy. I'm not gonna confirm or deny it. I won't.
I will not confirm or deny. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So nostalgia is making me happy. I mean, the fact that, like, you know, I'm watching Selena again, you know, the beautiful story of Selena. I'm watching Mandalorian, you know, the Star Wars lore, all those fun things, reliving, you know, the royals over there with the crown, you know, all those simple things.
I felt that eye roll.
Yeah. Don't get me started with all that. Oh my God.
No, yeah, it's funny. You know, what's really making me happy is, well, let me start with, we're a movie family. I started taking my kids to the movie at 2. My son has actually been to the movies, even though he is just 2 now. So we did and I finally found a drive-in. It took me forever. I finally found a drive-in, and New Mexico's back shut down again. So the drive-thru shut down. I was like so excited. I was like, oh, we're going to get to go. And then no, we're not. But what I have been doing is creating our own little movie nights here. They have their little cushiony couchy things. Mm-hmm. So sometimes we do that. Sometimes we pile up in our big bed. And that was what we did last night. And I loved it so much. Just piled up in the bed and watched Little Minions. And they have their 4 little Christmas movies. And we just got to love on each other and experience it together. And that really is making me happy. And literally what's gotten me through my math homework. Because I would be done with a problem. Like, okay, I'm stopping. I go in there. We turn on Pandora because I don't Spotify. Put on the Disney music.
I don't do either.
Oh, that's sad. You're an Apple guy, though, aren't you?
Apple Music, my friends.
Lame.
You know what else is awesome? Apple Podcasts. You know what's on Apple Podcasts? The Wrong Indian Podcast on Apple Podcasts. Go out and rate us now.
You know what? I haven't checked to see if we're on Pandora, but we're on Spotify. In the meantime, in between time, I'll put on a Disney song and we will have a little dance party, and that's been making me so happy. Just, you know, boogieing down with my kids too. Bless their hearts. They need moves.
Are you doing the body dance challenge? Huh?
I've already mastered that.
I don't even know why I led into it. I don't know. Talking about Pandora. I don't want to open that Pandora's box.
No, yeah, I love that.
I would agree with you totally with family too, because like during Thanksgiving, just going back home and being around family was amazing, you know, and like you said, you know, having that love, you know, family can really cure a lot of things, you know, and when you're away from it, you feel it, you know, and we've been away from family for so long now. Like when we're around going back home or we have family members who come visit, it means the world. So like during this holiday season, my daughters are going to come back in and it's just going to fulfill everything. Like it's going to warm up the whole house. You know what I mean? Not because of just their temperaments, but, but just, you know, just their warmth, everything.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm not going to get to see Gramps and my mom in person. There's just too many risk factors there for us.
Right.
But we've got a couple of Zooms lined up. Which is hilarious because just to watch my grandpa try to figure out how he can see us and how we see him. I mean, he's 80. What year is this?
Amazing?
He will be 80. What year? 87 on the 16th. So, yeah.
Elders on Zoom. That is the best. Elders on Zoom. That is the best.
Yeah.
How do I turn this thing up? What?
Well, fortunately he doesn't have to figure that part out because my mom's there with him to do all that. But
awesome.
Just watching him try to figure, it's like, is this the right here? I'm looking right here. I see. Wait, what are you kids doing? And then when we get the multiple family Zooms happening, because it's a mess. He's a mess. With his 3 stories he tells over and over, but I love it. I love it. Love it. Yeah.
So everybody, just want to give a big thank you. This has been episode 9. This is kind of cool. Like, this was kind of cool for us because, we did an episode without a guest and we went into it knowing that we were doing that. And this is really fun. But we will be ending season 2 with episode 10. Yes, to be named soon. We don't want to give it out right now, but we'll definitely have a guest for this season. Episode 10, season 2. And then we're going to take a little short break, because someone's trying to get a master's degree.
Someone needs a break. Someone needs a nap because he's had too much cereal.
Look, I get tired after I take that, cereal.
After you have your big boy cup and everything.
Look, once I get some food, it's night time. With some warm
so we'll take a little break. December, January, we'll be back popping in February.
Absolutely. But in between time, absolutely, I will definitely do some work to make sure that you still get some content during January and February, maybe some flashbacks of season 2, and then maybe some even more flashbacks from season 1. And
what would you like to see, guys? Just tell us in the comments below.
Absolutely. You know what? I'm just going to put it out there for some of you. We even have some archived footage that we never even got to launch.
That's right.
We were preparing season 2 before COVID hit, and we had some really good interviews. But we were just never able to put those together. But I'm hopeful that season 3, maybe we can revisit those guests, and we can definitely get them back to you because those were some really cool guests. So yeah.
Awesome. So thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you so much for listening, talking, commenting, or rolling your eyes. I appreciate every single one.
We'll take all of it.
All
right, guys. We'll talk to you later.
Bye.